So here's the dollar yen, and I'm going to jump over to the dollar yen because very quietly, and I say quietly because everybody's attention, it seems, is on what's occurring in Europe. If you're anything like me, you're trading what's happening over there short term. You realize that sentiment rules right now. Even though the headlines are very pessimistic, we got to trade the price action. That's what's being discounted. That's what's being reacted to. But very, very quietly, the euro has stolen, or very, very quickly, and for a long amount of time here, the euro has basically captured our attention, stolen our attention, and there are other things going on in the market, although it's sometimes impossible to find because of all the barrage of euro headlines and Sarkozy and Merkel and the alphabet soup and everything else that's coming out of the EZ. The dollar yen, in the meanwhile, has broken down through 76, or it's testing 76. Now, this is huge. Here's a daily chart right here. This is huge because, take a look, go back here. This is the level back here. This was a pierce down to 76.95, 76.93, I believe. So, basically, there was a line in the sand in between basically about, I don't know, 76.50, 76.60, and 76. And about a 50, 60 pip range, traders realize if we venture further down the slippery slope of 76 and start to test the major strike level, the double zero, there's a pretty good chance that NOTA is going to act. Well, here we are. And what'll be interesting now is whether or not the finance minister, Azumi, and NOTA will do anything more than saber rattle. Because right now, you've probably seen some of the headlines where, yes, they're threatening to act, that they're watching it closely and everything else, right? The bottom line is traders are now playing a game of chicken with the yen. And I'm going to look at the dollar yen. I think their quote was they're watching it closely again. Now, it's easy to make fun of the finance minister, Azumi, and NOTA while they're saying these type of, while they're wagging their finger at us. Okay? But the bottom line is we have to be warned because they have acted here before. I wouldn't, on any long-term chart, look to get short the dollar yen. I wouldn't automatically just simply buy this level, but if I'm forced to be in a position at this level in this pair, it's going to be long. So here's what's interesting. The dollar yen is basically got its back against 76. If you're a fan of options, this would be a great time to look at an option, say on the ISE, the International Stock Exchange. If you are comfortable hopping in and realizing that, to me, the safer, or I should say, the more prudent, logical play would be to position yourself long against the double zero, long against the previous low. We did stab down to, and let me tell you where we did hit. This is a 76.86 low. We're getting the warning, and this is just a shot across the bow. I do feel that if we start to see acceleration below 76, they will act. I'm not taking their threats as just talk. I think they're warning the market in a significant way, and they're willing to sell yen if they have to. So, in terms of everybody watching closely, yeah, it can kind of turn into a punchline at some point. But if I got to position myself at this level, it's going to be long, and I think there's some technical merit to this. It's not just headline driven. It's not just driven based upon the warnings of the finance minister. I think that the BOJ has shown in the past that they're willing to take such action. And I think if you even look at it from a technical standpoint, we're nearing becoming oversold once again. And that area just below 76 seems to be where we push the stochastics. It's a 21 period, set 21, 1-3 setting. We start to push the boundaries of oversold and the bottom of the range, and I think it, like I said, it technically makes sense as well to position yourself long. And then when you add to it the nature of where we are within the downtrend, or I should say the consolidation or congestion here that followed the downtrend, everything I think adds up to, yeah, looking for an opportunity to get long. Worst comes to worst, the market just kind of truds along here at the bottom of the lows. I don't know that traders are going to be willing to push this market down. And what would allow us to see a lot of yen buying? Perhaps some risk aversion, but we're not seeing that. So the yen selling would make sense based upon the risk appetite. The dollar's weakness as the Dow heads up higher obviously is helping push the dollar yen lower. That's part of it there. Let's not ignore that. As far as just the pure relationship goes between the dollar and the yen, the dollar is being pushed lower by strength in the euro and risk appetite here in equities. But we got to counter that with the fact that the BOJ, I think, is going to be very much willing to act. They have to. I think they know their previous action created the stability that we've seen here just above 76. I think they know that traders now are testing them, like a child testing their parent. And if they get away with breaking 76 without any repercussions, I think the BOJ knows that we could tumble very quickly from here. So I don't question their commitment to supporting this level at all.